A very good evening, everyone. Am I audible? Thank you. How are you all? Yeah, I'm great. I'm doing good as well. Thank you so much for asking. Okay, I'm good. Okay, so I can see that people are still joining the class. We will wait couple of minutes and then we will begin the session. Okay. Okay, I guess everybody is here. So let's start the class. And before I proceed, please let me know if my voice is clearly audible to you all or not. And just confirm me one time if the screen is also visible. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you so much, people. Okay, so we will be starting our class, and in today's class, we are going to discuss the remaining topics, okay, of our sequel. And those topics are, first of all, we'll discuss about the subqueries. Then I'll talk about stored procedure. I will show you how can you import or export the SQL table, okay, from Excel to SQL and from SQL to Excel. And then we'll also talk about the rollback and commit, that is a TCL transaction. Okay. So first of all, we will start from, sorry, not stored procedure. We'll be starting from subqueries. Okay, and subqueries is a very easy topic. You will be able to understand it very clearly because it's nothing but it's just a query inside any other queries. Okay, how can we define a subqueries is that we you can also call it as a nested query. Okay, nested query as in it is a query inside other query. Okay, so what does the query means? For example, if a table is given, okay, consider that right now a table is given to you. Maybe the name of the table is demo over here, okay, and in that table we have two columns, that is ID and we have name. Okay, just for a example, now if you are asked to display the name of the people or name. For example, if you are asked to display the name column only, then what is the query that you are going to write for that? That means the question is that you are supposed to display name column only. Okay. name column only. Then what would be the query for this that you would write in order to display the name column only from this table? Okay, select, we will write here select, then name from demo, right? Select name from demo. Easy, right? Like this is our single query in order to uh, extract any in order to extract the name column from our demo table. Okay, now in the same way, if you people remember, okay, we had our employee table. Okay, we had our employee table, and in our employee table we had a salary column. If you want, I can bring that table over here also. So let me bring that table over here. Just a second. Okay, so please let me know if this table is visible. It should be, right? So this is our employee table that we have been performing joins or any kind of thing on this particular table. Okay. Now, if I'm supposed to ask you that I want to extract the highest salary from this employee table, then what would be the query for that? That write a query to find, okay, the question is that write a query to find the maximum salary from this employee table. Then how are you going to write about it? How are you going to write the query for that? Okay, if I'm supposed to find out the maximum salary of the employee, then what is the aggregate function that I would use? So right now we are talking about the employee table. Okay, demo, there is a demo. This is my employee table. And now if I'm supposed to find out the maximum salary, then I can simply use the maximum aggregate function, right? And over here, I can write here salary and then from and then employee. Yes. And if you guys remember, the output would be something like it would be over here. Okay. And here it would be written max, and then there would be salary like this. Yes. And which is the maximum salary out of here? I think that's the 1 lakh. So 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The output would look something like this. Yes. Am I right? Yes, this is correct. But here you can see that this is the information that 1 lakh is the maximum salary in my table. But what if there's a condition or there's a scenario that you are supposed to write a query, okay, where you are supposed to write a mm, query to find the maximum salary, that we can do very easily to find the maximum salary, but also, okay, and you are also supposed to display, you're also supposed to display like name, okay, age and email of that employee. Then is there anyone who wants to take guess for this question? Like we all know how can we find out the maximum salary up to here. Okay, but what if the question asks that we are supposed to display the name also and then age also and the email also? Okay, name, age and email also of that particular employee. Okay, the group by would not work for this. Okay, we'll try to implement this, you would not get the correct answer. So basically in such scenario, in such case, no, the where condition cannot cannot apply the where condition because we do not use the where condition with the maximum, with the aggregate functions. Okay. So in such case, what we do is that we use subqueries. Okay. We use what? We use here subqueries. And how can I do that? We do not use aggregate function with where condition. So you cannot write where maximum salary. That is wrong. Okay. So we cannot do that. So basically, as I told you, this subqueries are nothing but it's a query inside any other query. Okay. So if I have written a single query, okay, here is a select statement, or if I have a select query over here, and then I have written any other query also. Okay. So maybe instead of writing like this, here, this is my single query to find out the maximum. Okay, that is select maximum salary from employee. So this is my single query. Now, if I will include this query inside any other query, that means if I will include one more query, like if I will write here, select, okay, and I'm supposed to find out name, age, and salaries. You can write that also. We can write here star also. So select star from employee, okay, employee where where and then here if I'll write here salary is equal to like this, okay, and include it inside a parenthesis. So now you can see that this is our, we have two queries in a single statement. Okay, basically what I have written here is that select star from employee where salary is equal to select maximum salary from employee. Now this is the structure of our subqueries. Okay, and let me explain how does this thing work. So basically the query, okay, we write the query inside this parenthesis, and the query that is written inside the parenthesis, this is our inner query. Okay, this is our inner query, and the query that is outside of the parenthesis, this is our outer query. Okay, as this definition you can see that subqueries means the nested query, that means a query inside any other query. Okay, so basically if I have a query one written over here like this, then here I have second query, that is query two. Okay, and it is like this. So you can see that inside this query we have another query. This thing is called subqueries. Okay, and how does the execution works is that, like when you write the subqueries, then the inner query gets executed first. Okay, the query that is inside this parenthesis is executed first. Okay, and the answer that you get from the inner query is assigned to the outer query, and then you get your output. Okay, so basically what happens is that if you will look at this particular query over here, then this is my outer query and this is my inner query, right? So first inner query will execute it. It's not like you will get the output of the inner query first in the result grid. No, at the back, okay, when the query will be executed, I'm talking about what will be happening back in the memory. Okay, what would be happening back when it would be executing in the compiler over there. Okay, it's not like you will see the maximum salary first, then the answer first. No, you will see the single output. But how the output, how will you get that output, how this query will work is that the inner query will get executed first. That means if you see carefully, the inner query says that select maximum salary from employee. Okay, so this inner query will result and give this maximum salary as the output. Okay, that means 1 lakh would be the output from this inner query. Okay, and now the output that is generated from the inner query will be assigned to the output query. That means we get 1 lakh from this parenthesis, right, from this inner query. Now this one lakh will be assigned to here, like where salary is equal to, I have written it is equal to, right? So what will happen is that the output that you get from the inner query, the output that you get from the inner query, which is 1 lakh, will be given to the outer query. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And now what will happen? The result, the final result that you will get would be from this. The final result that you will get would be from this only. That is select star from employee where salary is equal to 1 lakhs. Okay. And then you will get the output, that is, you will get all of the information of the employee, the person who has the salary of 1 lakh. Now, some people might think, why do we need to write this inner query? We can easily write select star. Some people might think that we can directly write select star from employee, okay, where salary is equal to like 1 lakh, okay. This particular query is also going to give me the same output that this query will give me. Okay, there won't be any difference. But why are we using these subqueries is that here you can see that this 1 lakh, okay, this 1 lakh is a hard coded value. Hard coded value as in you cannot assume yourself in advance that the highest salary is 1 lakh in that particular organization. Okay, highest salary could be anything. It can be 10 lakhs, it can be 8 lakhs, it can be anything, and it can be differentiated for each organization, each departments as well. Okay, so you cannot assume yourself that 1 lakh is over there and assign that value over there. Okay, or maybe you think that, okay, the table would be given to me, I would simply run this select maximum salary from employee, I will get this output, then after that I will know this is max salary and I will use this query. Okay, but things does not work in that way. Okay, maybe when you have access to a table, when you are working in an organization, then maybe you could do that. Okay, but what if you are in an interview, and what if the interviewer asked you, I want you to tell me or give me the query in order to find the details of the employee which has the highest salary. Okay, then in that case, you don't know what the highest salary is in the table. The interviewer will only tell you the name of the table. Okay, he will or she will tell you like, this is the table. Now tell me the query in order to find all of the information of that particular employee who has the maximum salary. Okay, so in that case, you cannot just assume what would be the maximum salary, right? Or in that case, you cannot tell to the employer that please execute the select maximum salary first, then execute the take the value and assign it to that award, because this is not the way a thing works. Okay, we are not supposed to say that answer. We are supposed to follow the we are supposed to answer professionally. That means we are going to use subqueries for that. Okay, because a single aggregate functions is not going to give me all of the detail of that particular employee. Okay, so in that case, what I will do, I will include this select maximum salary from employee inside this parenthesis. Okay, and the outer query would be select start from employee where salary is equal to. What will happen? From this inner query, I will get the maximum salary. Right now, I'm just giving you an example. That's why I'm right now the table is visible to us. That's why I know it's 1 lakh. Okay. But every time the visible table is not going to be visible to you. You don't know what the maximum salary is, right? You would never know that. So whatever the maximum salary would be in my table, my inner query will extract that first. Okay, my inner query will extract that first, and the value that we get from the inner query, that would be assigned to my outer query, and my outer query would look something like this. Okay, and then I would get a final result where I will get all of the details of the employee who has the maximum salary in my table. And this is the concept of the subqueries. Okay, is this clear to all of you? If two person have the same salary, then both of the output will be displayed. The question is that I'm supposed to see the information of the person who has highest salary. 3% can have the same salary, 4% can have the same salary. Okay. Okay, now let's see how this query will work. Let's execute this and let's find out the output over here. Okay, like this is my select start from employee. Now in this table, if I will apply the maximum salary function, that means select maximum salary from employee. Okay, select maximum salary from employee. Now if I execute this, one of the person is asking me if here we want to see whose salary is less than 50,000. So if you already know that you are supposed to find the person whose salary is less than 50,000, then in that case, you don't need to use subquery. If you already know, okay, I'm supposed to find out the employees who had salary less than 50,000, then just execute, select salary from employee where salary is less than, use the less than symbol 50,000 and execute it. Okay, is the output visible to you all? So this is our maximum salary from the employee, right? Now, if I will use my subquery, that if I write here select star from employee where salary is equal to, okay, as you can see that if I'm not including this inside the parenthesis, I'm getting this syntax error. Okay, so the inner query always goes inside the parenthesis, so we need to include it over here. Okay, we are supposed to include it over where? We are supposed to include it inside the parenthesis like this. Okay, if you can write it on the same line also, just for the understanding, I'm bringing it on the second line. Okay, you can write it on the same line also, there isn't any problem. So select start from employee is equal, where salary is equal to select maximum salary from employee. So what will happen? You will get the maximum salary from the inner query that will be assigned to the outer query, and then you'll get the final result. Okay. So you can see that now I'm getting all of the information of the employee who has the maximum salary. So basically the maximum salary is 1 lakh and his age, address, name, email, all of things are being displayed. Okay. If you want to see the name and age and email only, then you can specify the name of those columns. Okay. And if I'll execute it, then I'm getting your name, age, and email only. So in this way, you can specify the columns as well in your outer query. Okay. Query is not saved anywhere. Okay, we just write the query and we execute it. In order to save query, we have something that is called stored procedure, and that I will discuss after some time. So is why salary column is not shown? Because I have not mentioned the salary column, that's why it is not shown. If I will write your salary also, then it will be shown in my output. So here would be salary column also. Okay, but we select maximum salary. Yes, that's why this is the maximum salary. 1 lakh is the maximum salary from our table. And that maximum salary is 1 lakh. So we got the output from this inner query, and the output that we got is assigned to my outer query that is written over here. Okay, so I am getting the output on the basis of my outer query, and this is my output. So basically, okay, Yes, we can use the query to find the person working in other department also. We can do that. Okay. This is a very important question, people. Okay, when you will be in your placement interviews, then a 99, I would say literally 99% of the time, the questions related to finding the highest salary, okay, or the second highest salary or the third highest salary of any employee is oftenly asked in your interviews. Okay, this is a very important topic and each and every person should know about this. So right now, the query that we executed, this was in order to find the highest salary. Okay, and how did this work? Let me tell you how did this work. Like, in order to find the highest salary, we wrote this query, right? We wrote this query over here. So what happened here was, okay, yeah, I will show you how to find the second, and that is very important question, and I will show you. Okay, so let us discuss this one first, that how this thing works. If you need to understand this thing in order to understand the second and other highest part. Okay, so first please try to understand this thing. Here, this is our table, right? So as I told you, from here to here, this is our outer query, right? So our outer query, and from the query that you have written inside the parenthesis is the inner query. Yes or not? So what I told you, which one gets executed first? That means if you are executing this query, if you are running this query, then which one gets executed first? Which one gets executed first, people? The inner query gets executed first, right? The one that we have written inside the parenthesis, that gets executed first. When I say when I say this one gets executed first, it does not mean that you will see the output in your result grid. No, it means that it will run first in your system. Okay, and the output, what is the output for this one? The output for this one is 1 lakh. Okay, because the maximum salary is 1 lakh in my table. Now, the output that we got from this inner query will be assigned to the outer query. Okay, will be assigned to the outer query. These are the process that is happening in the back. Okay, that is happening in the back in my system while it is executing the query. So this 1 lakh will be assigned to here. So now my outer query would look something like this. Now my outer query would look, select name is email salary from employee, where salary is equal to 1 lakh, and where this 1 lakh came from? This 1 lakh came from my inner query, right? And we got the output for our outer query. The inner query gets executed first. Okay, the result of the inner query is assigned to the outer query, and the final output that you get is from the outer query only. Okay, can you show how to add value join date? In order to add the date in your column, use the date data type itself. Okay, we are talking about subqueries over here. Is there any confusion with this? Is this clear to all of you? Is this query clear to all of you? Please let me know if this is clear or not. Yeah, subqueries are very simple. Okay, subqueries are very simple. The person who is asking me how did you get the 1 lakh, so we get the 1 lakh from our inner query. Okay, we got this from our inner query. Okay, so this query that I have written, it is to find the maximum salary of the employee. Okay. Why written here where salary is equal to 1 lakh? I guess you missed the part. Okay. I was explaining how we got this 1 lakh over here. That's why I write this, just to make you understand how must be the execute this query be executing in your system. Okay. That's why we have written it over here. Okay, so now if you are asked to find the second highest salary, okay, if you are asked to find the second or third or any highest salary, is there anyone who wants to take guess what would be the changes or what would be the thing that you need to write over here? Limit and offset, yes, one thing is that there isn't anything called end max, so we cannot use end max. No, we are not going to use not keyword. Okay. Okay, so let's see how can we do this. So obviously the outer query is going to be select star from employee where salary is equal to, okay. The outer query would be something like select star from employee where salary is equal to. Now we will find out the second highest salary from our subquery or inner query itself. Okay, and how are we going to do that is, in order to find the maximum salary, we have the maximum aggregate function. We know that very well. Okay. But here, what I will do is that I will write here select. Okay. Then simply write the salary. And if you people know, if I will use the order by and arrange my salary column in descending order, then what will happen? Let me tell you. If I will write here select salary from student, okay, and ordered my salary column, that means ordered by salary in descending order. Okay, so I will explicitly sort my salary column in descending order. Okay, and then if I will use limit one, that means get me the one value but skip the first row. Okay, then I will write here offset one. Then what is it gonna do is that this is going to give me my second highest salary. And let me break this down to you. Okay, let me break it down. Here, look at the inner query only. Just don't have focus on the outer one. Have focus on this inner query only. Okay, how is this gonna work? We have select salary column. So obviously I will get the salary column. As I told you, we don't get the result of the inner query in our result grid, right? I am drawing over here, okay. I am just trying to make you understand how would this inner query would be working or would be executing in the back of your system. Okay, how would the compiler would be compiling this? How it would be executing this? We are going to get the output for this outer query only. So what must have been back happening in the back, like how operation or how calculation must have been done. So because of this inner query, select salary. So you'll get the salary column, right? From student table. Order by salary in descending order. So I have this bunch of um, values in my salary column. So it would be now arrange or sort in descending order. So if I am sorting it in descending order, which one would come first? The lowest, descending means the highest will come first, right? So I will have 1 lakh at the top, right? 1 lakh at the top would be over there. Then after that I have 90,000, right? So 90,000 would be my Again, I have again 90,000. Okay. Okay, I don't know why I have written a student. Sorry, it should be employee. Sorry about that. Okay, so here it should be 90,000. Okay, this 90,000 also gone. After 90,000, we have 89,000. 89,000. Okay, then after that, we have 78,000. Should be over here. After that, I have 60,000. Okay, and then I would have a 55,000. Let me repeat it one more time very clearly. Okay, let me repeat it. This is not the output that you will get. We will do it in SQL also. Okay, we will run this in our SQL workbench also. But right now, please try to understand the approach. So this is not the output that you will get. Let me repeat one more time. This is the way of execution of the inner query. I am showing you that this must be happening in the back. Okay, this is how the inner query must be executing. I am just trying to make you understand how this query would be executing. Okay, so select salary from employee, order by salary in descending order. So this would be happen. Okay, the salary column would be arranged in descending order. Then limit 1 and offset 1. This means what? Limit 1 and offset 1 means it will skip the first row and give this one as the output. That is 90,000, right? So from inner query, what we are going to get? We are going to get 90,000. Yes or not? And where is this 90,000 going to be assigned? Where is this 90,000 going to be assigned? This 90,000 is going to be assigned to my outer query. Yes or not? This 90,000 is going to be assigned to my outer query. Yes. So that means my outer query would look something like this. 90,000. It would look something like this. Okay. It would look something like this. That select start from employee where salary is equal to 90,000. So what will happen? Now from all of this value, there are two person with the 90,000. So I will get this person with the ID 3, okay, as the output, and also this person with the ID 6 as the output. So right now the question is to find out the second highest salary only. So please focus on that one only. Okay. So we will get what? We will get this Steffi and we will get this Ravi with the second highest salary, that is 90,000. And in this way, we will get the employee with the second highest salary. Okay. Now let's see how can we execute this over here. So basically, okay, we don't have any direct aggregate function to get the second highest number. We have a max function to get the highest number, okay? But we don't have any function in order to find the second highest. So we are applying the logic. And what is the logic? We are writing here select, then salary column from the employee table, okay, and arranging it in order by salary in descending order, so that my salary column would be sorted in descending order. Okay, and then get me one output but skip the first row. So I'll write here offset 1. Okay, if I will execute this much only, then see what will happen. I will get 90,000. Okay, for example, if I will not include this, no, it is going to be limit. If I'll write limit 1, then I'll get the 1 only as the output. Yes. So here you can see that the salary column has been sorted in descending order, right? Now, if I will use the limit 1 and offset 1, yeah, limit 1 is going to give me the information of the one employee only, not the both of the employees. You are right. If I need to get the both of the employees, then I'll write a limit 2. Okay. So here I have 90,000 like this. But it is not necessary because from inner query, I'm supposed to find the second highest number only. Okay. From inner query, I'm supposed to find out the second highest number only. Okay. DESC means decreasing order, descending order. So this is our inner query. Okay. Now, if I will use the subquery, that means if I will write here select star from employee, and inside this parenthesis, if I will, where salary is equal to, I'll write on a separate line, okay, like this. If we want more detail, yeah, I'm showing you how to get the detail of the second highest salary. So now if I'll execute it, then you can see that now I'm getting this as the output, okay, 3 and 6. And now let me break this down to you again. How are we getting this? Okay, so what is happening is that I have not done any double brackets. Yeah, we'll talk about the third highest after some time. Let me explain this one, okay? Let me explain this one first, that here you can see that first of all, we'll focus on the inner query, okay? First of all, what we will do is that we will focus on the inner query over here, not the outer query, okay? What is it saying? It is that selects salary from employee, order by salary, descending order. So basically it has been arranged in the descending order. So limit 1 means I don't need to set this limit 2 because I have a concern with getting the second highest value only. Okay, so I don't want this limit 2. It is going to be limit 1 only, because offset 1 means skip the first row and go to the second one. Okay, that is 90,000. That is my second highest salary. So what will happen is that I will get the 90,000, and 90,000 will be assigned to my outer query. And the output that I will get is that now I will get the output for this thing. Okay. I will get the output for the query which is written select start from employee, where salary is equal to 90,000. So I will get what? I will get this one also, and I will get this one also as the output. For yeah. So I hope this is clear to all of you. Okay. So now let me discuss about the third highest salary. Okay. Let me discuss about the third highest salary, that here, this is my, is there anyone who wants to take guess how can we find out the third highest salary? Okay, we don't need to change the value of limit. Okay, let me repeat again. We don't need to change the value of limit. The only value that we need to change is of offset. Okay, we only need to change the value of the offset over here. And how can I do that is, like, this is for the second highest, but if I'm supposed to find out the third highest, okay, let me tell you one time. I will use the same query. I'll use the same query, but what I will do here is, instead of limit 1, offset 1, I will write here offset 2. But here I have one problem. And what is that? Okay, I will write offset 2. Then what is this query is going to do? Offset 2 means it will skip my first and it will skip my second row. Okay. And limit 1, then but here I'm still getting 90,000. So is 90,000 the third highest salary? No, it is not, right? So that means the query that I have written here, the query that I have written here is failing in order to, okay, is failing in order to find the third highest salary. So I need to add one more thing. Yes, you are right. Those people who are saying need to use the distinct, then you are right. Okay. Now what will happen is that if I will add distinct before this salary thing, if I will add the distinct keyword, we all know what does the distinct do. What does the distinct do? Distinct removes the duplicate values. Yes or not? So now focus. Now our query looks something like select distinct salary. Okay. Since I don't have space here, I have written here select distinct salary from employee. Then what will happen? This the value for the salary column would be something like you will get the 1 lakh first. Okay, obviously. Then you will get the 90,000. Okay, but you won't get the 90,000 again. Why is that? Because we are using distinct and it is going to remove the duplicated values. Yes or not? It is going to remove the duplicated values. So here in for the third row, you are going to get what? You are going to get here 89,000. Okay, then after that there will be 78,000. Then after that there would be 60,000. Okay, then after that there would be 55,000. So what will happen is that this distinct will remove the duplicate value. And now if you will see this query, select distinct salary from employee, order by salary descending, limit 1, offset 2. So because of offset 2, it will skip the first row and the second row. Limit 1 means it will get this only. Okay, 89,000. So is 89,000 my third highest salary? 89,000 is my third highest salary, right? It is. So now 89,000 will be assigned to my outer query and I will get the output or I will get the detail of the employee who has the third highest salary, that is this one. So I will get this whole as my output. Is this clear to all of you? Please ask your questions in the webinar chat box, not in the Q&A box, okay? Okay, I hope this is clear to all of you. Now, in the same way, you can change the value of offset. Okay, offset 2 means keeping two values because we are finding the third highest number. Okay. So let's implement this. Here you can see that I have written select stat. Now here I will use the distinct, okay, salary, and instead of this limit 1 offset 1, I will write here 2 to find the third highest salary. Okay. What do you mean by limit 1 offset? Limit 1 means to give me the one output. Offset means to skip the number of rows. So offset 2 means skip 2 rows and limit 1 means give me the one output after that. Okay. Now, so for second highest also, okay, no matter if you are finding the highest salary, no matter if you are finding the second highest, third highest, or any kind of the highest, okay, it is always recommended to use this distinct keyword, okay. So when you are asked or when you are supposed to find out the highest salary or second highest or third highest, then make sure that your query is something like this, okay. Now, if you are supposed to find out the second highest, just write your offset 1. For third highest, write offset 2. For fourth highest, write offset 3. That is the only changes that you need to do. Okay, right now I want to find the third highest. So if I will execute it, then you can see that I'm getting the third highest, that is 89,000. Okay, if I will write offset 3 over here, then I will get the fourth highest. That is 78,000 and I'm getting that over here. Okay, if I will write here offset 1, so I'm supposed to find out the second highest, right? So here I have second highest. Two-person has the second highest salary, that is Steffi and Ravi. So I'm getting both of them as the output. Okay. Is this clear to all of you? Like how can you find out the highest salaries from the tables? When distinct, yeah, distinct is removing the mentioned value. Di- we are getting 290,000 from our outer query. You people need to understand the outer and the inner query. Okay, when finding the second highest salary from inner query, I'm getting the value 90,000. Okay, and that is being assigned to my outer query. Outer query looks something like this. So if this is executed, then obviously I will get all of the record that has the salary 90,000. If I will execute this separately, that means I will get this one. Yes or not? So inner query is only giving me the value, but the output that you are seeing is from the outer query. That's why there is like 290,000. Okay, it's not from the inner query. It's from the outer query. The output is from the outer query. So I hope in the same way, like no matter what the rank of the salary is, either it is highest, fifth highest, sixth highest, or whatever, the thing that you can use here is that of like for second highest, I am writing here offset 1. Okay, for third highest, offset 2. So one less. Okay, you are just supposed to use that, and in that way you can find out the details of the employee. Now if you are supposed to find out the minimum salary, okay, the person who has the second minimum salary or the third minimum salary, then the only difference or the only changes that you need to make is that instead of descending, you will arrange your table in ascending order. Okay, so this will give me the this will give me the person with the second minimum salary. Okay, that is 60,000. So I'm getting this one. So that is the only changes that we need to make. And these are the very important questions. Okay, and you would be asked about these questions in your placement interview also. So please revise things. And I hope this is understandable to you all. Yeah, you can skip ASC also, because by default order by sorts the column in ascending order, so you can skip it also. I am using distinct over here in order to remove the duplicated values in my salary column. The questions that I have already given you, okay, assignment questions, those are the questions from the interview point of view itself. So I would recommend you to revise all of the things, and the questions that I am discussing in the class or the topic, the module is itself built from the placement point of view. Okay, so please refer to that. Okay, I hope this is clear to all of you, right? Yeah, for maximum use descending and for minimum use ascending. Yes. Okay. Yeah, let's get to the next topic now. Now the next topic is the topic, like I'm going to show you how can we import. Like for example, if you have already created an Excel worksheet, can we use two different tables? Okay, before I proceed to the next topic, whatever the questions you have, please ask me right now, because I won't be answering once we get to the next topic. Okay, so the question is, can we use two different table for subqueries? Yes, we can do that. And just like joins, that two tables must have same values or same columns. Okay, like for example, I'll show you one example because it is very easy. It is just like that. Because for two different table we use joins. Okay, we don't use subqueries that much. That's why we don't need to deep dive into it. But just for the surface information, I'll show you one example. Like here, select star from employee. Okay, that is the concept. For the top or limit is same. Yes, it is same, but top is not supported in SQL Workbench. That's why we use limit. This is my employee table. Okay, and then this is my department table. We have already learned about joins. Yes, people. And what was the condition in joins? That two table must have a same column with similar values. We are very much clear about that, right? In order to extract data from two table, we must have, like for example, I think there was a question where you are supposed to find out the employee who works in shipping department or some department, right? In your previous assignment questions from two tables, you had to find out the person who works in shipping department. So we are going to use joins for that only. In real life, in real implementation, when you will be working on two different tables, then you will use joins only. Okay, it's not like we cannot use subquery. We can. So I'll give you brief information only. So how can we do that? Is that, for example, here, in order to use subquery, if I will write here select star from employee. Okay, and where employee, I have employee ID in my employee table, and what I'm going to use here is that uh like I want to find out the person who works in human resource department. Okay, like shipping or anything other are the one that I have already given you. So if I want to find out the detail of the employee who is in human resource department, so basically that is in my employee table. So I'll write here select star from employee, where employee id should be equal to, okay, should be equal to what? Select. Then here in my department table, I have this ID column, right? So I'll write here select ID from department, where department name is equal to human resource. Okay, like this. So if I will execute it, then you can see that I'm getting the information of the person. This is the employee who works in human resource department. Okay, so in this way, you can use subquery for two different tables also. But let me tell you one more time, we use joins in order to extract the data from the two different tables. Okay, this inner query is doing what? This inner query is giving me the ID of the person. Okay, it will not show you the department name because it is select star from employee. If you want to see the department name also, then for that you are supposed to use joins. You cannot use subqueries for that. Okay, that's why I told you we use joins if we want to extract records from two different tables. Okay, not subqueries. We do not prefer subqueries that much. You asked me if we can apply it in two different tables. So yes, we can do that, and in this way we can do it. Okay, and it is not going to show you the department name because here, how is it working is that you are getting the output from the inner query first. So select ID from department. Okay, here you cannot write select ID from employee. That would be the wrong query. Then where department name is equal to human resource. So maybe the ID of the human resource is 3. Okay, so you get 3, and now this 3 was assigned to the outer query, and you get the record of the employees who is in EMP ID is equal to 3. Okay, for join, what you can do is that you can write here select star from employee, then just write inner join. You can write join only, there isn't any problem. Okay, on employee dot empid is equal to department.id. I have already discussed this question while writing the join also. Here you are simply supposed to write where just apply the condition. Department name is equal to SIP. Okay. And now if I'll execute it, you are getting all of the output. That means you are getting department ID also, department name also, email also, salary also of all of the person who is in shipping department. Okay. So in this way, we use it for the joins. Okay. I hope this is clear to all of you. Now I will move ahead to the next topic. And after that topic is complete, then I will take the queries or the doubts from you. Okay. Yeah. Tomorrow you are going to start your Python class. From tomorrow, this is your last SQL class. So the next thing that I'm going to talk about is importing the Excel worksheet. You guys must have prepared some kind of worksheets in your Excel application, right? There must be some worksheets, and if you want to import it in your SQL workbench, after importing it, you can import it in the form of table, and then you can use or you can apply any kind of queries on that as well. Okay. And I'm going to show you that process. How can we do that is that I don't want to import it any, you can import it on any existing database also, but I'm just creating a new database to make you understand. I'll create a database named test. Okay. So here it has been executed. And now I have my test database over here. This is my test database. I want to use this database to import my table. Okay. I hope this two things is clear to all of you. This is a very basic thing that we have been doing. Just created a database, named it test, and I'm going to use this database. Okay, now have a look carefully on the screen. Right click on the database where you want to import your file, where you want to import your Excel worksheet. Okay, right click on that. And after that, can you see this option which says table data import wizard? Are you guys able to see this option? Okay, let me repeat one more time. What you need to do is that on whichever database that you want to import your Excel, you need to use that database first. Okay, if you want to import it in this org or db or whatever the database that you have in your system, then just write use and the name of that database. That database will be highlighted, it would be in bold. Okay, then right click on it. Which click, people? Right click on that database. After right clicking on that database, you would see an option that says table data import wizard. Okay, click on this. After clicking on this, our new window will appear, and the new window is going to look something like this. Okay, the new window is going to look something like this. Is that new window visible to you all? Okay, so here is this worksheet visible to you all? Okay, this is just a demo Excel worksheet. This is just a demo file. You might have large number of datas. You might have 100 of datas. Okay, it's up to you. It doesn't matter with the size of the file. This is just a demo. Okay, and I have named this file book. So whatever the file, whatever the Excel worksheet that you have created, make sure that you are saving your worksheet in the form of CSV format. Okay, otherwise it won't be imported. You won't be able to import it. What I'm trying to say is that, is this save as window visible to you all? Yeah, to import Excel to SQL. Okay, is this visible to you all? So when you are saving your Excel worksheet, okay, when you are saving your Excel worksheet, here it is file type, right? In this file type, make sure that it is not XML file, it is not .xlsx. Okay, it should be which one? It should be the CSV format, because SQL only supports the importing of the CSV file format file. Are you guys clear about this? So while saving your SQL worksheet, if you have already saved it also, then you can just change it. right? Just save, click on save as file name and then select the CSV file type, okay? And then save it. And your file would be saved wherever it is in your system. Is the saving process clear to all of you? Okay. Now, after saving the file, what we will do is that we will be in our SQL workbench, okay? In this SQL workbench, we'll be creating our database, then right click on it, and then we'll be clicking on this option that is table data import wizard. Okay. After clicking on that option, you will see this window. This window over here, which is saying select file to import. Okay. Select file to import. So what we will do here, you will browse the file that you want to import. I have here this book one. Okay. The file that I showed you in my demo file. Then I will do what? This is XLS worksheet, right? Then I will click on open. And you can see that the type is CSV. Okay. Then I'll click on open. After clicking on open, the file path will appear over here, right? The file path will appear over here. Then after that, what you need to do is that you just simply need to click on next. Next, okay. Again, click on next. You just need to keep on clicking on next. That's it. Click on next. Okay. Then again next over here. Then again next. Then after that, again next. Okay. Then at the end, you will reach to this finish. When I will click on this finish, my window will get closed. Okay. Click on this finish. My window is closed now. Now my file has already been imported in my SQL workbench. Okay, let me show you where. If you guys remember, in which database did I import my Excel worksheet? In my test database, right? So inside this database, okay, inside this database, if I refresh it, can you see that this book one table is here? I can simply write here, select, okay, select star from the name of my file was book one. So if I'll execute it, okay, like here, if I will click on this, it is saying the table definition has changed. So the table is already in my system. Okay, it is over here. Maybe I changed the name or something. Let me just check. Do I have any name of this file over here? Okay, we can try to import any other file also. Okay. Maybe I have here. This is my book one. Table data import wizard. Okay. And now while browsing, I will import this employee. Okay. This is also my Excel worksheet. I also have this one employee. So I'll just click on open and then next and then next, then next over here, then next. Okay. Then again next and then finish. After that, what will happen? That would be imported over here in my test database. You can see that this employee is over here. You click on this. Okay, I don't know why it is saying table definition has changed. Maybe I'm using this one, but my table has been imported in your in my SQL workbench. Okay, you people can try to copy the same step if you want. In this simple step, you can import the SQL file in your uh yeah, I think I need to change my Excel name and import it again. So let me try to do that. Okay, let me try to do that. I'll name it as Aisha. No, I cannot name it as Aisha. I'll just name it as SQL Worksheet. Okay, you people can try to do that and try to import it also. Okay. Here I have changed the name of the file. No, I have already used the database. Okay, I just name the change of the file here. Then here this is SQL import. Okay, then open. Okay, let me tell you why is I'm having this error. Okay, is the step clear to all of you? First, let me know that. Okay, if anyone is using the SQL on your side, you can try to follow the step there as well. Okay. Here I have this query. Okay. Okay, so I'm getting some responses that it's working for me. So maybe while taking other classes, I might. No, it's not about the multiple files. Okay, these things happen when you change the schema structure. Okay, basically, if you modify the database schema, then it happens over here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that let me just close all of this first. Okay, and then delete this one. Okay, so I'm getting responses from the people that this is working for them. Okay, so the step is good. Okay, the step is exactly what you do. That is the thing that you are going to. Okay, if there are many CVS extensions, choose the one which has the comma separated thing. Okay. Okay, so I again getting there working. It should work. Okay, there isn't any problem. There must be problem with my SQL workbench or something, but it is going to work. Okay, after importing the table, what you can do is that here you can see that now it's working. Okay, can you see the table, people? So basically, previously it was not working. Maybe I didn't space there was something problem with my database schema. Okay, so instead of writing the query, yeah, I changed the file name and make it SQL import. Okay, so it's working now. So in, as you can see that I don't know what is this name, but whatever is this, in this way you can import the table. Okay, and you can apply the queries also. Like here you can write, like if I write here where id is equal to 1, then it will give me the id is equal to 1. You can update the values also, you can make the changes. So in this way you can simply import your SQL worksheet. Okay, and then uh, use the queries on your table and do it. So is this clear to all of you? I changed the file name to SQL import, not to Aisha. Okay. Is this clear to you all? So basically, the queries are not saved in SQL. Okay, it's not like you are. Yeah, test is the database, and inside that I imported this table SQL import. First of all, the name of the file was book one, but I rename it and then I imported it. Okay. Okay, so let's move ahead to our next topic, that is called stored procedure. Okay, so basically what does the stored procedure does is that it is also very easy and very simple to understand. We can save, okay, we can save queries in the stored procedure. If you want to save a particular query and you want to execute it again and again, then in that case we have stored procedure. Okay, for example, here in my database, DB database. Okay, okay, so in my DB database I have multiple tables over here, right? And let me tell you why. Oh, what can I do over here? Okay, what can I do over here? I have multiple DB and I have multiple stored procedures also. So let me just, in order to make you understand, I'm deleting it. Okay, because this must be, I have created it before. I'm just deleting it. Okay, so if I talk about this employee table, in employee table I have this thing. Okay, maybe you are executing the query, you have multiple, you have very large number of datas over here, and you are supposed to write this one, like you are supposed to extract the you can select only one sheet at a time. Okay, not multiple sheet, and you can drop or delete a single sheet only, not the multiple one. Select star from employee where employee ID is equal to 1. Okay, so this is one query. If I will execute it, then what will happen? I'll get the detail of the employee whose ID is 1. Basically, you have to execute this query again and again. For example, you are going to execute this query to find the information of the employee who has ID 1. Maybe next time you are supposed to execute this same query. Okay, and you are supposed to find out the information of the employee whose ID is 3. Okay, that is a per day task. Maybe you closed your, now what will happen is that if I have written this query over here, and now if I'll close my SQL workbench, then this query is not going to appear again, right? It will, you won't be able to see this query again. So what I can do is that I can store a particular line of query, and in future if I want to re-execute it or execute it again, then in that case I can use it. Okay, I can execute it. It's not only about select statement, maybe creating the table, inserting the values, whatever the queries you have, you can save a separate queries. Okay, just like in document files, we create a document and save it separately. Yes, in the same way we can save queries. You cannot save a file in itself or something. We can save a separate queries and we can execute or edit it again and again. Okay, so how can I do that is that in my database I have this stored procedure option, right? If I will click on it, and then here there is written create stored procedure. Okay, here it is written create stored procedure. I will click on it. After clicking on it, After clicking on it, this new tab will open. Okay, the tab looks something like this. The tab looks something like this over here. Here you can see that it is written create procedure, and here you will give the name to your procedure. Okay, so maybe I will give the name to my procedure as select. Okay, maybe the name of my procedure is select only over here. So between this begin and end, you will write the query. Okay, here if I will written here select star from employee, okay, where empid is equal to 1. Okay, this is the query that I have written over here. Now I will save it. Okay, I will save this particular query. Again, just to repeat myself, I am just giving you a very basic example of a single query to save. You can save whatever the query you want, and it's not like you are going to save your select, then you will again write a create query and you will save it in that. No, like you will save a single query in a single stored procedure. Okay, you will do that. So here I have stored a select statement. Now I'll click on this apply button. After apply, a new window will appear. Okay, and this is that new window. I hope the new window is visible to you all. Yeah, is the new window visible to you all? Okay, you just have to, in order to create the stored procedure, if you click on a particular database, there would be a stored procedure option. Right click on it and click create stored procedure. After clicking on that, this window will open. Okay, this tab will open on your screen. Name your, just like while saving the document, you name your file, right? In the same way, if I'm saving a query, I will name that stored procedure at select. You can name it whatever you want. Okay, then click on apply. After clicking on apply, a new window will appear here. This is the new window. Okay, the window that will appear on your screen. Then now click on apply option. Click on apply. Then after that, click on finish. That's it. After clicking on finish, your window will get closed. Okay, your window will get closed, and then the person who is asking me why to use this stored procedure to save queries. Okay, whenever you create a file, you save it somewhere, right? So that you can access it in future. In the same way, if you want to save a query, then for that we have a stored procedure, and we use this in order to save that query. Can you see the at the right side under the stored procedure, the select thing is appearing now? Can you see that? Yes. So basically my query has been saved. Okay. Now what I need to do is that, yeah, for the query to be handy, yes. In order to execute that query, what can I do is that I'll write here call and the name of my stored procedure. What is the name of my stored procedure? It was select, right? So if I will simply write here call select, and if I will execute it, um, okay. So I think select is a keyword in itself. So I changed the name because select is a keyword in itself, and it was giving me error if I was using the keyword. So I just change the name and I make it select one. Okay. So if I will write call this select one, and if I execute it, then you can see that I'm getting the output for the same query. Okay. Now next time, okay, for the next time, if you want to see the result, if you want to see the record of the employee ID whose ID is 4 or anything else, You don't need to write it again or anything. Maybe you closed today's task, you closed today's work. Tomorrow you again run your system, open the system, and now you're supposed to run this query. So you don't need to type or retype this again. Okay. Now, if I want to find the person whose ID is 3, I'll just make change over here. I'll write here emp ID is equal to 3 and just click on apply. Okay, that's it. After clicking on apply, that query will be updated. So now if I will execute this, call select one, then what will happen? I will get the ID whose, did I write here 3? Yeah, here I write here 3. So now I'm getting the what? I'm getting the information of the person whose ID is 3. Okay. Now, in the same way, for example, if I'll create one more stored procedure over here. Okay. Now, I will store here in order to create the table. Okay. So maybe I will name it as run or something. Or maybe here I will write create, no, create table. Okay. Can we make it operable with multiple tables? Yes, we can do that. Okay. So maybe here I have written create table and name it as demo. Okay. And then here I have ID int and A is int. That's it. Okay. Consider that you created a table where there is like 100 of, not 100, sorry. Maybe there is like 10 or 20 of columns. Okay. You created that table. And next day also you are supposed to perform the same task. So you don't need to write that structure again. Okay, here I am giving the example of 2 column only. Consider that you created a table where there are tens of columns. Okay, and you have created that table. Next time you are supposed to create the same table, maybe a little bit changes in the name or something that you can do over here. Okay, so the name of my procedure is create table. Here I'm creating a table demo with ID, A's and int. Okay, I'll click on apply, then apply and finish. Okay, now if I will use this, like if I'll write here call and then here create table, then please have a look at my output, this action output. Okay, have a look over here. What will happen if I'll execute it? Then you can see that my table has been created. Okay, if you will look over here, can you see that here I have this demo table? Can you see this? Can you see this? There is a demo table. Okay, maybe next time you are supposed to create one more table, but in that table there should be a additional what? There should be a additional um column name. Okay, there should be additional column name. So here you can simply edit. No need to write all of this thing over again. No need to do that. I want a name column also, so I'll simply write your name varchar 10 something like this. Okay, and then change the name of the table because this is my another table, not the same table. Then click on apply, then again apply and then finish. Okay, now what will happen? Here I will call the create table again. Now my second table has been created. If you'll have a look, first I created demo, now I created demo 1. Okay, so basically stored procedure helps us to save the queries and you can execute it in future. If I will close this SQL workbench also, and if I will restart it tomorrow, my this particular query has been saved. Okay, I can make changes in it and I can re-execute it whenever I like. You can relate this with the example that when you create a document file, you guys must have prepared a document file, right? Maybe you are creating a document file and there you are writing about yourself. Okay, you have written a paragraph about yourself. Then what you do, you save your file, right? Do you save that file or not? In doc, you save it file somewhere in your system. The next day if you open your file, can you retype in it again? Can you make some changes in it? Can you edit in that file or not? And it's not like after 3 or 4 days that the file will disappear. No, you can still access that file, right? Yes. So here relate this thing with the file. Okay, you can save the file in the same way you can save a single query. You can save a query, and you can, that's the process of saving that query is called stored procedures. Okay, and you can re-execute, you can use that query again and again in future, you can make changes in it. Is this clear to all of you? In order to call the stored procedure, okay, just write the keyword that is call, and I have here three stored procedures, right? And name the stored procedure. Like for example, if I'll write here select one, then the query that I have saved in my select one file, okay, select one stored procedure, the query that I have saved in that will be executed. Okay, so just write the keyword and the name of the stored procedure. For example, in document, if you have created two files, in one file you have stored the information about yourself, so you will write the name of the file as myself. Okay, maybe in the second file you have some assignment, so you will name that file as assignment. You are not going to mix both of them in the same file, right? Are you going to do that? Maybe you have a third file where you are keeping the record of the transactions or anything, you are writing about your daily life or journal or anything, then you will name that file as journal. Yes, like we create different files which has different information stored in it. Yes or not? In the same way, these are the files, stored procedures are the files, but instead of saving a file, here we are saving the queries itself. Did you guys get the point? Is this clear to all of you? Solve query in stored option or save. I have already saved the query that is in stored procedure. Okay, you can create, you can store as many queries as you want. Okay, to edit a saved query, for example, here I have this. If you want to see the stored query, here it is, the name is written over here. If you want to edit something, okay, like for example, I have this select query stored over here, right? So if I want to edit, like for example, instead of employee id 3, I want employee id 5, so I'll just erase it, write 5 only, and just click on apply. That's it. In that simple way, you have edited a saved query now. Okay, now if I will call this select one, previously I will getting the result of the employee whose ID is 3, right? I updated it to 5. So now if I will execute it, I will get the query of employee whose ID is 5. So that is, just go to that here. Here is my stored procedure. Okay, just need to click on it and then go to this tab and just make changes here. You can make changes as you like. That is the simple way to edit a saved query. We can export the file also. Can you see this export option? For example, this is my offline store table. Okay. Can you see this export option? Just click on it. After exporting, name the file, anything that you want. Okay. That's it. And click on save. And now your file has been exported. That is the only way. Just click on export. Here's a new window. Okay. I hope the new window is visible to you all. And here write the name. Click on save. That's it. Now if you'll go to your Excel worksheet, you will find that table over there. No, you cannot export the queries as PDF document. As I told you, SQL supports only one document, that is CSV file format. That's it. Either you can export it in CSV format or import it in CSV format. This file will open in Excel. Why it won't open? Like for example, here you can see that I just exported this file, right? Offline. You can see that it is already over here. I can open it also. Okay. Click on export. Okay. And then here is my file name. The file name is offline. I click on save. Okay. After clicking on save, my file has been exported. Then here I can open that file also. Let me show you. Here, okay, the person who is asking me how to repeat, you have to click on this export option. Okay. Can you see that this offline file is already over here that I exported some time ago? Can you see this? That is over. It is over there. Okay. For example, if I want to export another file, for example, if I want to export this department file, okay. So I will open that, then export it. Where I am exporting it, it is in my Aisha, then OneDrive, and it is on desktop. I literally exported it on my desktop. Okay, the file path is assigned over there. So the name of my file is department. Okay, so I'll write here department. You need to choose the file type. As you can see that here is save as type. Okay, what is the point of it? People asked me how can you export the file. That's why I'm answering the question. Okay, if you ever get a scenario that you want to export a file into the Excel worksheet, then you can do it. Export to SQL in the different places of computer, not different places of computer. And if you are exporting in a different places of computer, then obviously it is taking your memory space. Okay, now we will move ahead to the next topic, because next topic is also very important and we need to and that would be our very last topic of today's class. Okay, and that is rollback and commit. I have been repeating. We need to click on this export option and look over here. There is written export. Please look, have a look at my cursor. Here is this icon, export. Okay, so just click on it. You are not exporting the database, you are exporting a particular table. Right now I open my department table, so I export that. If I want to export offline store, I will write select start from offline store, then I will export that. If I want to export my orders table, then I will write select start from orders, and then I will click on this export and I will export that. Okay. So now let's move ahead to the next topic. I hope, can we move ahead to the next topic now? Okay, so here, no, this is our last class. This is my last topic of SQL, so I cannot stop for today over here. Select star from employee. Okay. This is my employee table, you all know. Okay, now the next topic that I'm going to talk about is that it's the rollback and commit. And what does it do is that we can roll back the last query that we have executed. Okay, we can do that. For example, here, if I will write delete from employee where empid is equal to 7, then what's gonna happen? The detail of the employee, are you guys able to hear me? Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is that if I have executed this query, okay, so what's gonna happen is that means it is going to delete the employee ID with 7 from my table. If you look at the employee table, then okay, executed. So if we'll see at the table, the ID with the 7 is gone, right? Now, what if I want to revert the change? That means I don't want to delete the ID with the 7. Maybe I executed this query. Now I want my employee ID or the record with the ID 7 back in my table. Okay. Then what can I do for that is that I have something that is called rollback and commit. Okay, what is that? Roll back and commit over here. So basically, in order to save the changes, we execute rollback, we execute commit, and to revert the changes, we use commit over here. And let me show you how. Okay, so we have a keyword that is called rollback. Okay, so it's a operation of reverting a transaction. Okay, like to revert the changes that you have made, I use rollback. Okay, but look over here. If I will write here rollback only, and if I will execute it, there isn't any problem. Okay, it has been executed. But if you'll see the changes, is if you see the changes over here, then the then what? Then the I'm sorry, then the record that I deleted is back in my table. Right? The record that I deleted is back in my table again. So you can do that. Okay, we can use rollback. In some cases, okay, here is that you need to execute the commit first as well. Okay, it's not like if you will do this, you might not be able to revert the changes back again. The first thing that you need to do is that you need to execute the commit first. Okay, you need to execute this commit first, then after that delete from employee where empid is equal to 7, like this. And okay, and then if I will execute this, then what will happen? If we'll see the table, that ID has been deleted. Okay, and now if I will roll back, then what will happen is that it will come back to my table again. So basically, if you want to revert the changes, okay, the changes that you made in your table, then you can use rollback. Now in the same way, if for example, if I'm sorry, for example, if I update the table, okay, right, if I have written here update employee where not where. Update employee set name is equal to Aisha. Okay. Where empid is equal to 7. So what is it gonna do? It is going to change the name. Okay. And if you'll see the table, the name has been updated. Now it's Aisha, right? In the empid 7. But now if I will execute the rollback, and if you'll see the table, then you can see that it is back to the original, that was Raz. So basically whatever the changes that you make in the table, then you can revert it back. Okay. Now if you have a question that can we bring back the table that we have deleted or the database that we have deleted, then no, we cannot do that. Once if you have deleted the table or once you have deleted the database, then it is deleted permanently. We don't have any queries or anything in order to revert or bring back the table or the database that you have deleted from your SQL workbench. Okay, so this is a basic thing of commit and rollback. The function of the commit is to save the changes that you have made. Okay, if you will not execute the commit and if you will execute this query and if you rollback will not work alone for you. If you'll try that, in my system it worked because previously I was executing the command and that way commit was already executed. Okay, but if you will try that, now it will not work for you. So the first thing that you need to do is that you need to execute the commit. Then after that, the execute the query that you want to revert the changes, and then after that only rollback will work. Okay, so commit is basically to save the changes so that you can revert it back in the future. It's an operation that finalizes and applying the changes that is made by a transaction. Okay, and you can revert it back in the future by using the keyword that is rollback. Yeah, if you not execute the commit first, then you will not get the delete or changes data. You need to execute commit first. Okay, how to fix the wrong column in table example phone number? Are you asking me that you created a table phone number with int, now you want to make it varchar? No, commit will come before rollback, not after rollback. You execute, please have the look on the order of my queries. Now first you execute the commit, then write the query that you want to make changes, and then execute the rollback. Commit before the making changes. Okay, we are committing the record, we are committing the query that we would be executing in our SQL workbench. It has been committed. Now you can revert it back or roll it back by using the rollback keyword. Okay, the person who asked me how to fix wrong column in table example phone number, are you trying to ask me how to change the data type, or is there any, please elaborate your question. Yeah, one of the person has already answered me that, and yes, you are right. You're supposed to use the alter table, then the name of the table, modify column, and then new column name and the data type. Exactly. Is this clear to all of you? Rollback is dependent on commit, yes. I still don't understand what we are committing to if we did not change anything yet, but I changed. I think you don't get it. I look over here. Right now, the name is Raj. Okay. You execute the commit first. Okay. Then you make the changes. After making the changes, you will see at my table. Now the name is Aisha. So we made the changes. Okay. We have made the changes. Now I want to roll it back. That means I want to revert the change. I'll click on roll back. And after clicking on roll back, you will see the table. Now it is back to Raz. Okay, so before making the changes, we need to commit it. If you will try to apply your own senses, like using the rollback first, then commit, then it will not work for you and you won't be able to save the changes. You won't be able to do that. Okay. The rollback is used to undo the changes, and commit is used to finalize and apply the changes that is made by the transaction. Okay. Yes, of course. If you don't understand anything in SQL after this class, and if you practice, if there is any problem in future, then you can raise a ticket also. You can arrange a one-on-one session with your mentor also, and we will help you with the same. Of course, you can do that. That both MySQL and MS SQL is going to be same. If you do not roll back, no. If you do not commit, then the changes will be temporary and you won't be able to revert it in the future. Okay, rollback will basically, your rollback will not work if you do not execute the commit. Commit is like saving the changes that you are making so that you can revert it in the future. Okay. Yeah, if you don't want to get anything bad, then don't execute the commit before that. Yes. Commit is just to save the changes that you are going to make. Okay. And rollback is to revert it back. Of course, I don't know how many mistakes will I make in future while writing the query, right? So but just for the security purpose, just for like just for the, maybe I don't know what kind of mistakes I will make in the future. Okay, so just for the security purpose or anything, I will execute the commit first, so whatever the changes that I am making will be saved, and if I want to revert it back in future, I will execute the rollback. Yes, you can submit your assignment in 3 to 4 days also. Okay, if your rollback and commit queries is not working, then try to, in some version it might work, might not work. So try to execute this. Okay, set auto commit is equal to 0. Try to execute this one and then again run the commit and rollback. It must be work for you after that. Okay. In one-on-one session, it will be only one mentor and the person who has arranged the session. Only one people over there. As command is just to give a temporary name to your column. Okay. Okay. Yes, you can do any execution after rollback also. There isn't any problem with that. If you make any mistake and if you have not written commit before that, then no, you won't be able to roll it back. You cannot get that back. Commit means to save the changes of the transaction. Commit means to save the changes that you are going to make. And rollback means to revert it back, to make the changes undo. Yes, there is connection of the SQL and Python programming, and when you will get to the Python programming part, you will get to know about it. Auto commit is equal to 0 because in some I got some responses that for some people's commit was not working. So if it's not working, you need to execute that query, that is set auto commit is equal to 0. No, I'm not going to take your Python programming class. Okay. From tomorrow, there will be a new mentor for you that will be taking your Python programming. What is the use of SQL? I think you have not revised the thing that we have taught in the class. Okay. The use of SQL is to create database. We are basically up to now in today's class, we are only seeing the use of SQLs. Yes, please, you can upload your first and second assignment by mid of the week also. You will get to know by tomorrow who is coming, okay? When your Python classes will start from tomorrow, you can ask the questions related to the Python tomorrow to the mentor itself. Like how many classes are there and how is it gonna do, what will be the topics, okay? You can ask the query no matter how many queries you have, okay? Like whatever the doubt you have, just feel free to raise a ticket and ask it over there. You don't need to count the tickets. How we use on real-time data. So basically, all of the queries that we have discussed in the class up to now, okay, and the assignment questions that I have given to you, you will be performing same type of operations on real time, like to extract the record of the organization or to update something, to delete something, okay? So you will be using the same thing as well. And once you will start to create projects, okay, then in that case also you will get to know how can you implement it over there. Thank you so much. Topics like DDL, DML, all of the topics are taught, okay? Basically, all of the topics are taught. It's none of the topics are remaining. Okay, that DDL basically means to create, alter, or drop. Okay, so we have already done that. DML means select, insert, update, or delete. Okay, so we have already learned. It's just a different name for those commands that we have executed. No, you are not getting any other assignments for SQL. Okay, and I have already given you a bunch of questions. Practice that. I have assigned one website also where you can practice the SQL. Go through that website, okay, and implement it. And as I told you, if you have still any problem, okay, there is not TDL, it's a TCL, okay, and the TCL was the rollback and commit itself. Don't give space between auto and commit. Just write auto commit together, okay? You need to go through the recording session, okay, and revise every topics that has been taught in the class. And I would suggest you to create a note instead of getting a file. What I believe is that if you will create your own note and if you'll write each and every topics yourself, then you will remember everything for a very long time. Okay, because you are writing it on your own, you are going to the recording station, you are putting your own efforts, right? Then you will remember everything for a very long time, and in future also you can execute any query that you want at a very ease. There isn't any website. I have already given the assignment link, and I was talking about that assignment link. No, it's not like it's not important. The term DDL, okay, I don't use that term because DDL basically means the terms that we have already taught in the class, that is create, alter, okay, drop. DML means to select the statement, okay, to update the statement, to insert. So it means the same thing. Yes, you can ask one question. Thank you so much for the appreciation. I am glad that you learned my teaching. Okay. If you want to get the assignment link, please raise a ticket regarding to it and you will get the link over there. The values are not complying with insert. So if you are getting any kind of error, okay, I would suggest you that you can arrange a one-on-one session with your mentor if you are still not able to do or execute anything, or you can raise your doubts over the ticket and the queries will be resolved over there. Okay. For a reference, you have the recording session that is always available on your LMS and you can access that. You have done, so no reply. Okay. So I would suggest you to raise a one ticket and arrange a session with me, and I will take your session myself and I'll help you with that. We are done for today. There isn't any more topics. Okay. If you want to leave, you can leave the classes. Okay. And now, since we are done with the sequel, best of luck for your Python module and learn it well over there. If you have raised the ticket for the link, don't worry, you will get the reward on it by tomorrow. Okay. Just if you want, let me share the link. No, I'm not going to take any other classes for you. This was my last class. Okay. With an answer to have one-on-one session with you, to have an one-on-one session with me, you need to raise a ticket and just mention that I have this doubt and I want a session with my SQL mentor, and the time will be available, the slot will be decided, and on that day I will take your one-on-one session. Okay. Okay, those people who were asking me the link for the previous assignments, I have said send on the chat box. Please have a look on it. These links are of the previous assignment, okay, not the new one. Okay, so I can see that most of the people are not receiving the reward on the ticket. So don't worry, I will, as I told you, I will talk to the team and you can try to raise a new ticket also for your session and I will take your session. Okay, so don't worry about that. Yeah, you can raise a ticket for one-on-one session, of course. The link that I have shared where you can practice this sequel, it is in the assignment 28th of January, assignment 1. At the bottom of the page, I have mentioned it over there. I have already shared all of the links. I don't know if you get it or not. I have shared all of the links already in the webinar chat. Thank you so much for the appreciation. Thank you so much. You can raise a ticket for one-on-one session over the Ask Doubt section on your LMS. Oh. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. I shared the link right now. Did you get the link? For package, you can easily get a 5 to 6 LPA per. Okay, like for freshers, it is very easy to get 5 to 6 LPA, and you can also get up to 8 LPA as well. Okay, so that would be the package that you would be getting. Okay, thank you so much for joining today's class, people. Have a great day ahead. Yes, ये assignment, this is of last date. ये assignment last date वाली है because the people were asking me of the previous assignments. That's why I reshared it over here. Okay, in future you are supposed to revise the topics that I have taught in the class. No, I would say that not provide any one-on-one session. Obviously, they would provide one-on-one session. It's for freshers. I'm talking about the for freshers, but you can easily get up to 10 to 12 LPA. That's what I'm talking about. You will get the revert of your assignment soon. Okay. Okay. So thank you so much, class. Now have a great day ahead. Thank you so much for joining today's session. Have a great day.